Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from Propanc Biopharma, and let's just say after reading this you might need some biopharma help yourself. The financial situation could be a bit of a headache. This Form 8K filing is like a corporate quick update, telling us about some new agreements they've made. It's a bit like hearing a friend took out a bunch of small loans simultaneously. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come chat and share your thoughts. Scroll item 1.01, entry into a material definitive call agreement. Scroll first on June 12, 2025, Propanc 20 to company stock to an investor for dollars they say. They'll use this money for general working expenses, which is a basic need for business operation. Crow and dozen shares at price per share, $5 scroll. Scroll to now. This note can be converted into shares of the company stock. Originally, the conversion price is $5 per share. There's a clause though. If the stock price drops below $4 for more than 5 days in a row, the conversion price drops to $3 per share. This protects the investor if the stock doesn't do well, and if there's some kind of default or failure to pay, the conversion price goes to the lowest trading price the stock has ever had, meaning the investor gets even more shares for their money than they originally anticipated. Scroll maturity date to the note is June 12, 2026 scroll. The note has to be paid back for good by June of next year, and it has an interest rate of 8% per year. The committee decides to pay back their debt in the first 2 months. They have to pay 10% of the amount they owe plus any interest still owed. After that, the cost goes up. This is pretty expensive, but it gives the company some flexibility. Scroll failure to maintain the listing of several events that could be considered a default if the company messes up, like not paying back the note, failing to issue shares on time, or even if the stock stops being listed on the OTC markets, because it's a requirement to the agreement. If any of these debts happen, the note becomes immediately payable, meaning Propanc has to pay it back instantly. Then the report mentions a loan agreement that happened just 1 day later, on June 13, to one of the company directors. The board member loaned the company $13 United States dollars. It will also be used for working capital. Scroll at a rate of 12%. 12% to Musgrove. The interest rate on this loan is 12% per year, paid monthly, and if they fail to pay the agreed amount, the delayed payments has a default rate of 18%. The loan has to be paid in full by the end of June this year. That's a pretty short time frame. The exact details of these agreements are in the exhibits attached to this report. If you want all the specifics, you can find the full documents there. Because items 1 was all about the purchase agreement and the note, this short items just refers to that section and makes it important. Here the report mentions that the note was issued under what's called a private placement exemption. It basically means they didn't have to register the sale of this note with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. It's a legal shortcut for raising money privately. Scroll items 9 or 1 financial statements and exhibits. Scroll finally, the last item simply lists all of the exhibits attached to the report, so anyone reading this knows where to find the files related to the announcement. Now, what does all this mean? Propanc Biopharma is a company that seems to need money right now, and they're getting it through short-term borrowing. The dependence on small loans and convertible notes suggests they could be facing some financial challenges. The favourable terms for the investor, depending on how the stock does, is extremely interesting. It hints their confidence in their potential. The high interest rates attached to the loan from the board member is something to acknowledge as well, which shows the urgency of the company's financing needs. The company is in a tough spot because they are raising money on such short terms, giving investors very favourable deals for the money. If things don't turn around quickly, they might face even more pressure to raise capital, which could further dilute existing shareholders. Alright, that's our breakdown of Propanc Biopharma's latest filing. What's your take on these deals and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. It will be useful to bounce off ideas with others. Thanks for watching. See you next time.